Hi Cancer, welcome to your end of September reading. I hope you guys are doing great. Let's pull Sacred Rebels to get a crowning energy. Let's get right into things. Hope you guys are doing great today. Remember, these are general messages. Don't try to make it fit. If it's not your reading, maybe we get you next time. You definitely want to check your rising sign, moon sign, and Venus. And when I mention the house placements, that is going to be for Cancer risings, because our rising sign does rule our birth chart, that drives our birth chart, rather. And just because I don't want you guys to be confused about that. Okay, when I mention the house placements. Okay, faith in the process. Cancer, yes. Just know that whatever is meant for you is not going to be denied, okay, first of all, before I even say anything else. Because this is the kind of energy where it's like no matter how powerful you are and how much courage and strength you have, there are times where you can't quite move yourself. Well, we're all like this, where we can't move ourselves along to that next phase of our life, no matter what we do. And this is not an indication that you've done something wrong, and it doesn't suggest that you're not strong enough. It's a sign that there's something bigger unfolding in your life, and that your willpower will be supplemented by the power of life itself. And I know that sounds very airy-fairy, but this really is true energetically. Understand that whatever's meant to come to you will. But the hard part here is humility, trust, and faith. That's, you need to have complete faith in the process and events that are happening right now in your life. That's ultimately, and I know this is going to be hard for some of you to hear, but there's nothing to worry about. Because you're going to be moved most fully and easily and with the most grace and assistance through a level of faithful surrender. Because it's through that surrender and through that total faith that we become the most empowered. Things don't just happen, on accident or by chance, but there's something bigger unfolding, this tells me, in your life right now, Cancer. So keep your eye on the ball. Really try to maintain faith and understand that what seems like a challenge right now, there's a whole lot more going on underneath the surface that's pushing you to exactly where it is that you're supposed to go. But you have to have faith in the process of it. And I know that's not easy to hear, particularly if you're in a place where you either feel stuck or, for the many of you who are out of work or struggling through a challenging relationship, or maybe, things are not so bad, but you're just looking to bring yourself to that next phase in that relationship or in that job. There's something going on here that's bigger than what you're seeing right now. And so you really do need to have faith in the process of it all. So let's pull some light to you, Tarot, and we're going to get some energies to see where you're at now, some challenges that you might be having, what's going to be happening in the very near future, and then in the future further along, regarding whatever situation you're here on your heart with. So we're going to address it for relationship as well as career. I always work in family situations if I feel called to, if I'm getting messages in that way. Okay, so we have the Queen of Cups. Good, having communication about what you need, and it ending up being some sort of ending of a cycle for you, Cancer. Okay, so let me be where you're at right now, needing to make this decision to trust. Judgment really is. Let me move that up there. I put my candles on blue for my watery Cancer brothers and sisters. All right, and then we have Five of Wands. Okay, and let's pull a few for the future. Queen of Swords, truth coming out. Eight of Pentacles, good, having what you need, moving it along, leaving the toxicity, right, and leaving the sense of overwhelm. Okay. So right now, Queen of Cups energy working with the Ten of Swords. So the Queen of Cups is about, first of all, it's about having that conversation, right? Because it's Gemini and Cancer, and Gemini is the intellect, but it's also communication. It's the third house of communication. And the Cancer energy here, you guys are all about that fourth house, right? Of roots, family, security, safety, foundation. So having the communication about what it is that you really want. You might be having this communication just with yourself. What do you need to do in your life to bring yourself that firm foundation? And then we have the Ten of Swords energy. The Ten of Swords is a harsh energy in that it is Mercury in Virgo. So Mercury has to do with the thoughts again, or the communication, but very critical thoughts, very critical approach, right? Because that is Virgo. When we have the Ten of Swords, this is about a complete and painful ending of something, and you feeling in one area of your life or another that you're kind of reaching rock bottom, having to do with either that job, maybe that major in school, that relationship, that family connection, that friendship, whatever it is. But you're realizing that it's not going to bring you that strong foundation. You're having this realization that you're not going to have the strong foundation that you really want. Now, this is working with the Nine of Wands energy and the Judgment. So the Nine of Wands, Mars and Gemini, the moon in Sagittarius. This is the moon, as I feel, and Sagittarius is about moving yourself forward with luck and expansion. So you still have fire in your belly left for something. But at the same time, this is about you keeping and maintaining boundaries while being very persistent in something. So there's a level of persistence, even though you're realizing something may not bring you ultimately that foundation that you want. You're being very, very persistent in something. You're experiencing a sense of clarity here with the Judgment energy. There's a final decision. There's a wake-up call here, Cancer. Your life's purpose is if it's not completely illuminated, to you right now, it's going to be, the echoes of it are going to be very unavoidable, right? Unavoidable. But Judgment is also looking at how something has gone in your life, be it that relationship, that job, that family connection, whatever it is, and looking back and saying, you know what? In that moment, I did the best I knew how. Maybe in retrospect, I could have behaved differently. I could have stood up for myself more, or maybe I should have said A, B, and C, or maybe I don't like how they treated me. But there's this understanding that the past is the past. What happened, happened. The toothpaste is out of the tube. Everybody did the best that they could, in the moment. But now you need to make a decision because there's clarity now. Do you want to continue in something, or do you want to make the shift? You have the persistence to continue working in something, but at the same time, there is this ending of a cycle because there's this realization that it's not speaking to you. So I feel like some of you may be in this kind of caught between a rock and a hard place right now. So as far as the challenges go, we have the Eight of Swords and the Page of Pentacles. So the Eight of Swords is questioning whether you even belong in a particular situation right now, right? It's a Jupiter in Gemini. Jupiter expands whatever it's in. So your thoughts are very sort of like very expanded, right? The truth and the reality of a situation has become glaringly obvious to you, right? So, but it creates this sort of like self-imposed restriction, isolation, the sense of imprisonment, because you're just not feeling like, maybe you felt like you belonged in this situation, in this job, in the relationship, in this friendship, within this family dynamic at one point, but you're feeling like either you've outgrown it or it's just not what it once was, right? But so this is very challenging. And then working with this challenge is the Page of Pentacles, which is about patience. Now, for some of you, the challenge may be in getting a new job, right? Getting the raise, getting some sort of financial help that you're needing right now. And some of you may be in this space where it's like, I'm unemployed, I can't deal with this, I need a new job and it's not coming in. Or I'm in this job and I'm really not happy, but this other job is not coming in yet. That's how you could relate with it, having to do with career. In relationship, you may be in this space where you're just not feeling like the relationship is what it once was, and the challenge here is in being very patient in experiencing this next cycle, which is obviously happening within your relationship, and you don't feel the same connection, right? Because Pentacle is emotional, mental, and physical connection. When we're looking at it from a love perspective, could mean money as well, but it could also mean that. But it's just this idea of not feeling like you fully gel with something anymore. And this is working with the Lover's energy and the Seven of Wands. So the Seven of Wands energy is feeling very defensive and protecting yourself, right? So some of you might be even protecting yourself against some sort of competition within the workplace. Some of you might feel like you need to defend yourself against competition within a relationship. So this could definitely be where some of you may find yourself in a rivalrous type of relationship, where, a lot of relationships end up like that, where you guys are trying to I'm not saying you are, but, for some people will resonate with it like that, where you're trying to one-up each other. You may even feel like you're sort of needing to defend yourself, and the competition has to do with your partner's past. So this is, the different ways that it could show up, that, where you're competing with the past. But this is about being very self-defensive in whatever situation is. So maybe you are needing to defend what you're doing for a living and your partner doesn't like what you're doing for a living, or you're defending yourself in the workplace, having to do with some sort of situation that came up within the workplace, and you're in the space of needing to defend yourself. The Lovers incites this need to make a decision. Okay, it really does. It's the need to make a choice. Now, what do you want to do? Do you want to stay in the relationship and work on it? Excuse me. Do you want to stay in that career and work on it? Do you want to join forces with this new business partner and work on it? But it's this idea that nothing's perfect. The Lover's energy incites there needs to be a decision made, right? With the understanding, though, that nothing is perfect. Whether this has to do with, and it's with somebody who we have a shared soul purpose with. So that could very well easily be a business partner, a family connection, a friendship connection, and obviously a love connection, right? But where we're recognizing things aren't perfect, but we're both willing equally to put in the work. Now, if only one person is willing to do the work, it's not going to work. It is blessed with Archangel Raphael and the luminary of the sun. It's a nice energy, right? It is a nice energy, but in doing this and working through the Lover's energy, right, where it's got to be a lot of cooperation and empathy, there is going to be this situation where you're going to feel like this need to defend yourself. So some of you might realize that this is what's necessary, but you're having a hard time making this happen. You might be willing, but the person or people that you're dealing with may not be willing to work with you. So you may be kind of growing out of, growing out of that career, growing out of that, whatever situation it is, Cancer. I feel like you're growing out of a situation. Now, the immediate future, love it. Look at this. 8 of Wands, 3 of Cups. Woo, woo. Like, this is awesome. 8 of Wands. I love this minor arcana. This is a powerful one, right? This is Mercury in Sagittarius. Mercury is communication. So some sort of communication is coming in. And Sagittarius is about moving forward with integrity. It's ruled by Jupiter, so there's luck and expansion here. So some sort of good news is coming in. And it's almost like a frenetic energy. It's speedy. It's action. Quick changes, right? So this news is going to come in that's going to incite a quick change, a new change. So maybe you're getting that job, or you are accepted to that fill in the blank, or you heard from somebody you haven't heard from in a long time, bringing you good news. Maybe it's somebody that you've been wanting to get back together with, and they call you and they're like, come on, let's just go do this, right? Because it's working with the 3 of Cups, which is about friendship and celebration and a circle of support. So some of you are hearing some sort of good news, perhaps somebody that you haven't heard from in a while. It's going to be a supportive, nurturing, beautiful, celebratory vibe. It really, really is. So this is a nice, nice energy, no matter how we slice it, whether it's for relationship or whether it's for career, it doesn't matter. And then we have that working with the 5 of Wands and the Ace of Cups. Okay, a little bit of 5 of Wands hanging out in there, a little Saturn and Leo, a little ego getting in the way. All right, what are you going to do, right? I mean, it is what it is, right? This is about rivalry. This is about challenges and obstacles. So remember I was mentioning the rivalrous energy before? You may be dealing with this right now, Cancer. But the thing is here with the 5 of Wands, what's interesting about the 5 of Wands is no one really wins. It's a battle of the ego, and ego's not really real. I mean, it is, but it's not, right? It's very subjective. It's what I need, what you need, whatever. And without realizing what the actual situation needs, which is the Temperance energy. But with the 5 of Wands, if you yell louder, it's not going to change anything. If they yell louder, it's not going to change anything. What has to happen here is this Ace of Cups energy, right? This is newness. There's newness here. Now, for some of you, I'm going to give the different interpretations, right? So for some of you in the near future, you may be realizing that this energy that you're dealing with, fill in the blank, whether it's a job, however it is, a relationship, friendship, family connection, the ego is such an issue that it's inciting for you to kind of leave it behind, right? Because it's becoming too challenging for you, and for you to open yourself up to something new, because this new information came in, and you're wanting to kind of go in alignment with that new information coming in. For others of you, it's having the battle of the ego, right? Having the necessary battle. I don't think that this is it's a minor arcana. It's short-lived, but I feel like it's going to end up inciting a new beginning, and I really feel I'm leaning towards that understanding most right now. Guys, Ace of Cups can also mean a new baby. It can mean a proposal of marriage, a proposal to move in together, a proposal of something. So for those of you in the workspace, it could absolutely mean a proposal of a promotion, a new job, a new opportunity coming in, because you're realizing that whatever you were in was really not serving you in the way that you want. So that new information coming in could have been a new job offer that's going to be this, kind of give this kind of this celebratory vibe. It's a beautiful energy. It really is. So I'm not that worried about the Five of Wands, because the other 4 cards in this line are really, really positive. Now, what is it bringing in the future? 8 of Pentacles, very nice. Sun and Virgo, we like the 8. The 8 of Pentacles is nice. The 8 of Pentacles is about mastering your craft, enjoying your job, enjoying whatever you're doing, really building yourself. If it has to do with career, if it has to do with relationship, really figuring out each other and learning each other, and mastering, for lack of a better term, mastering what's necessary for your particular relationship. Understanding that every relationship is different, and the relationship that you're in now or will be in is completely different than any other relationship that you've been in. It should be treated like that, so you don't have any sort of transference of energies. The Queen of Swords, though, we like this because this is about honesty. This is about honesty, Cancer. It's also about self-sufficiency, right? Being very self-sufficient, very autonomous, having healthy boundaries, very healthy boundaries, but being very honest about what it is that you need at the same time, which is very important to Cancers, right? It really is. It's very important that you feel safe and secure. And to communicate what it is you need, because if you feel violated, or if you feel hurt, or if you feel unsafe, it's very hard to pull you out of that shell, out of that crab shell. You retreat, right? But part of your evolutionary lesson here, part of that, like from an evolutionary astrology perspective, part of your challenge here while you're on this earth, Cancer, the Cancer Sun, Cancer Rising, Moon, Venus, is you need to shed that shell and allow yourself to be vulnerable and take those chances. And it's through being really honest about what it is that you want, need, and desire that's going to allow you to bring that mastering of relationship to the, into possibility. Because you can't master a relationship, you can't master anything until you really in the know and understanding and raw honest with yourself, right? And we have the Chariot and the Ten of Wands. So these two working together. So I actually really like these two together, because the Ten of Wands tells me, this is Saturn in Sagittarius, something became too difficult, right? Something just became too difficult. This is about stress, exhaustion, too many burdens, putting the wands down. It became too much. You couldn't even see the foot in front of you. And the second you put it down, you're leaving the toxicity behind and you're going in a better direction. So I do sense that a lot of you guys are perhaps stuck. You feel kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place, in a situation that's not fully serving you, feeling rather toxic right now, but it's not going to stay like that, Cancer. Please understand that it's not. You really do have to have faith in the process. I see a lot of good stuff in front of you. And again, you might be in a space where it's like you felt like you belonged in that, whatever it is, relationship, friendship, family connection, job, whatever. But you don't feel like you really belong there anymore for one reason or another. And it's a minor arcana. Doesn't mean forever. Maybe it just requires a really solid conversation. A real raw sort of soul opening up to each other. It's Polar Norman, so we have an information coming, a message coming in. And whatever's coming in is reality, it's truth, it's based in truth. Because whenever we get the white feather represents honesty. And we had that Queen of Swords, more honesty. We got Bridges, which is about meeting somebody halfway. mending, a bringing together. Then we have the Tower, very nice. It's not like the Tower in Tarot. Tower in Lenormand is a really good supportive energy. All right, we have the Mice, which is something is gnawing at you that you just cannot explain. Then we have the Tree, which is about the best way to, the Tree, we could say, you know, a very basic understanding is feeling grounded and rooted, obviously, because it's a tree. But it's more like of an as above, so below. What are you allowing yourself to be experiencing out in the 3D? Understand that your body is assimilating that internally. So whatever you're exposing yourself externally is being internally processed. It's something that you need to understand. Then we have the Child, creativity. We have some wise advice coming in. Let's give one more. Beautiful. I mean, when we get the Owls with the lilies, Cancer, somebody is watching you from the other side who loves you very much. Very much. Somebody who has passed, an elder. Some sort of serendipitous message is going to come into you. But we have this truth coming in that's going to allow there to be some sort of bridging. Now, for some of you, and I'm going to just go general here, this could be information coming in that's going to incite the signing of some sort of contract, the signing of an agreement, the signing of divorce papers, the signing of the sale of a home, the signing of a marriage certificate, the signing of a new position at a job, right? This could also be, though, meeting somebody halfway, right? The meeting somebody halfway to have a really good open discussion about what's necessary for a given situation. Now we have the Tower. Now the Tower can indicate a large corporation. It could indicate like the agency that an attorney works at. It could indicate some sort of hospitalization that's going to benefit. All of these things would be to your benefit, okay? And something to benefit you. This could be maybe you deciding to go back to school, something that's benefiting you. Maybe it's eating away at you that you didn't finish that degree, or it's eating away at you that you're in a degree that you need to change, or you don't like the direction that you're going in. This could also have to do with, you know, the institution of marriage, as we say, right? Metaphorically speaking, that something is really eating away at you at your job. This could have to do with the company or corporation that you work for. Something is really, really troubling you, and you're being very honest with whatever imbalance is going on here. You're being very honest about that. Now, when we have the Child, this is an interesting energy, because this could be, you know, you thinking very heavily about your children and your responsibility to them, thinking that you really want to have a child, or your future family. Now, this is children. Children is also a 5th house energy, which is the landlord is Leo, ruled by the Sun. And also within that energy is falling in love, romance, what you do with your partner on a Monday through Sunday, your level of creativity, you wanting to start your own business, you turning something that you enjoy doing into a money-making venture. So this is all really coming to a head for you right now. This is you recognizing, Cancer, what is in your heart, right? Because that's what Leo is. Leo's the lion, right? It's you know, what is in your heart, what is speaking to you on the deepest level. And the thing is, you're going to be getting some very serendipitous messages at this time, because the messages that the Owl brings are wisdom, they're wise, they're not flippant, something you see on social media. But I mean, this is like profound, deep, soul-shifting kind of message that comes in. And when we have the lilies, it's either coming in from an elder in your family who's very wise, or somebody who has passed over who loves you very much, who's really looking out for you. So there can be this epiphany, this realization of something that comes to you that's you cannot escape it anymore, and it's going to incite the shift. So even though you're in this space of struggle right now, whatever truth is coming in, whatever is happening here, whatever is eating away at you, that there's going to be a shift. And it's going to be, you're very, very supported right now. You really are. I mean, this is really nice, actually. And I know you guys don't like when I say that because you say I stay too positive sometimes. Positivity is way better than staying negative because I do believe in the manifestation of our energies. So if you maintain this position and on a psychological level that it's never going to happen, this is worth nothing, this is never negative, that's you're going to self-prophesize that into your energy field. So rather than doing that, it's better to take the perspective of whatever's happening right now, whatever challenge and struggle I'm feeling right now. I may not see the answer, so I need to lean into it and understand that there is a higher purpose going on here, even though it's hurtful, painful, and confusing. Really have faith in the process. Let's pull 4 cards. King of Wands, very nice. 10 of Cups, very nice. Oops. Judgment energy, very nice. The Devil, I love it. Look it. King of Wands, we love this, Cancer and Leo. This is about feeling very passionate about moving forward in your life. So as a general energetic influence, this is feeling very passionate and very motivated to move forward in something or with someone in a way that's going to incite stability and a strong foundation. Because that's Cancer. Cancer is home, right? This Cancer is home. King of Wands energy is a very bold leader, right? Very charming, very courageous, right? Putting yourself out there and having power over your life and really embracing this. And that's going to just bring the 10 of Cups energy, which is about family contentment, total love and support, really loving your job, feeling like you're in your metaphorical home space, having everything that you need. Really having what you need. And all of this is happening because of the Judgment and the Devil. So the Judgment is about having clarity. It's the need to make a final decision. And you need to decide. You need to decide to be happy, Cancer. You need to decide to bring yourself to that next level, even if it means needing to release something that you're scared to release for whatever reason. Okay, but this is what this is. It's a wake-up call to your life's purpose here. And then we have the Devil. So the Devil, look, the Devil is about addiction, greed, envy, materialism, obsession, sexuality, all that stuff. But with the Judgment energy, I feel like Judgment is also about forgiveness. So first of all, you're going to be forgiving yourself for whatever you did, however you were in it, right? We talked about that before. Then we have the Devil energy, which just is, in a nutshell, it means imbalance. Cancer, it's imbalance. It doesn't have to mean that you were dealing with an addiction at all. It just means, where was the imbalance? Where has the imbalance been in your life? What have you been allowing to go on that tipped the scales in a way that it was getting in the way of you being comfortable in that job, getting in the way of that job work, and getting in the way of you feeling confident about what you're studying, getting in the way of that relationship being a positive experience and being able to grow into that next level, right? Wherever the imbalance is, that could be anxiety and depression unchecked and untreated. It could be irresponsibility with money. There are so many different ways that we can experience the Devil energy, but the Judgment is recognizing this, understanding that it was a problem in the past. Now, you're either going to have to release this Devil energy, if it's an external energy that you were dealing with. If the Devil energy is within you, facing this imbalance once and for all and really addressing it, however you need to, whatever, it's going to mean something different to each of you. But really good. Okay, Leo, beautiful. We have the 5th house energy, right? I mentioned with the Child card before, Leo, focusing on you, Cancer, for a minute. And that doesn't mean that you're selfish. It just means focusing on your creativity, focusing on what it is that you really want, focusing on what you want romance to be like, focusing on what you think a really good connection is in relationship. And then we have this with Venus. So I feel like there's going to be a lot of communication having to do with romance, also open communication having to do with money, because Venus rules money, it rules our self-esteem and self-value, and it rules love. And there's going to be a lot of creative approaches to these ideas. And then we have the 2nd house, which is things that we value. 2nd house also is ruled by Venus, right? Taurus is the landlord, but it's ruled by Venus. And what do we value? We value money. We value our self-esteem, our self-worth. How do we feel in something? We value the food we put in our mouth. We value the home that we live in. So it's really kind of, because Cancer, you guys tend to be very, very selfless. You can. You can. Okay, and this is really, though, getting very raw and honest about what you're willing and not willing to put up with anymore moving forward. Not that there's malice, not that you're being selfish. It's just that you're having self-respect. And you're recognizing that that's really important to honor within yourself, because if you don't respect yourself, it's very difficult for somebody to come in and respect you and value you in the way that you really want to be respected and valued, And that imbalance there is what can end up throwing the relationship or even the situation in the workplace off, right? Really drawing the line in the sand as to what you need. So that is what I have for you guys with that. Let me just pull an astro card and a black moon card, and then we will send you guys on your day. Uranus, yes, that revolutionary energy. Awesome. Uranus is a very it's very, in a nutshell, it's the Fool card. It rules Aquarius. Aquarius is all about, it's about the future and focusing on the future. Okay, focusing on the future. Brainstorming, originality. I cannot shuffle these cards. This is so funny. Okay. But something unexpected is going to happen. It's like an unexpected rupturing kind of happens, right? But that ends up inciting this level of freedom and balance. Void, of course, moon. Yeah, oh, I love it. This is so funny. Do nothing. Don't try to hyper-focus on anything. This is so difficult to do. But the void, of course, that's the transition between moon phases where like nothing's happening. You just need to be. Let things happen. Have faith in the process of whatever's happening right now. Don't try to rush something. Wow, very serendipitous messages here for sure. For sure. So yes, Cancer, have faith in the process. I think I'm going to label your video that. I think this is going to end up being a good thing, but not the best energy that you're in right now. It is going to get better. Please open yourself to that. Okay, my friends, that is what I have for you today. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.